All right, so this is the portion of the agenda called your 5-minute sponsor infomercial that won't last, too long because I stand between you and lunch. But as Daniel said, my name is Christine Waller. I'm the Vice President of Communications and Corporate Responsibility for Duquesne Light Company, which for those of you not familiar is the electric utility that provides service to 600,000 plus customers in the Pittsburgh region, including the city and this very building where we sit today. It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you to the Scott Institute and to the broader CMU team for hosting this awesome event. We've been part of it since the very beginning, and we're grateful to be back in the room with so many leaders and future leaders and innovators in the energy ecosystem. I also want to thank this morning's panelists. The topics that you all are leading discussions on, including resilience and reliability, growing electricity demand, and how we evolve our grid, could not be more timely, as evidenced by this week's record storm that we experienced. This was the second largest event that Duquesne Light has ever had to respond to in terms of number of customer outages. And this comment may not land well if any of you are in the pocket of like 25 customers that still have to be restored, but this was also the company's fastest ever response to an event of this magnitude. So really proud of our crews and some of the technology that we've deployed to help the grid bounce back quickly when extreme weather events like this occur. So as someone inside the electric utility, I thought I might provide you with a little bit of insight about some of the real world challenges and opportunities that we're experiencing, in particular as it relates to affordability. So here's your pop quiz. The year is 2021. The total average residential customer bill at that time was about what? Shout out a number. 75 is close, it's about 100. All right, so fast forward 5 years, today that average is about $150. And I'm in a room full of really, really smart people who know, a lot more about the energy industry than probably I do, for sure than I do. But many people don't know that that increase is being driven by a supply and demand imbalance that's affecting the generation portion of the bill. Now, in the state of Pennsylvania, utilities don't control that portion of the bill, nor do we profit from it. But as the company that is responsible for transmitting and distributing electricity to our neighbors' doors and our businesses in the region, we know the impact this has on our customers. And we're also typically the first organization that they call when they need help. So we feel a great sense of responsibility about this issue. And we thank you all for convening conversations about it and sparking action and ideas. So all of this work is really personal for us at Duquesne Light. Here's a did you know, another did you know. 70% of our employees are also our customers, and so we know the impact of what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. So we try to expand that impact locally by partnering with different organizations like Carnegie Mellon, and I wanted to give you a couple of examples of ways that we're doing that. Our innovation team partners with CMU's Integrated Innovation Institute, and so far we've hosted 6 graduate-level capstone projects that help us evaluate emerging technologies. We also teamed up with CMU to submit a project proposal through the Pennsylvania Infrastructure Technology Alliance, and if this is approved, this will help us support finding new ways to strengthen the grid against threats like severe weather. We also know that Pittsburgh has become a national hub for AI and robotics, and so we recently formalized a partnership with the Pittsburgh Robotics Network to explore real-world use cases for physical AI that, again, will help our grid be more reliable and more resilient. It won't be news to any of you in this room that some of the companies that are part of that network are also CMU spinoffs. So right now at Duquesne Light, we are investing a record amount of capital in modernizing and updating the grid, $2.7 billion, in fact, by the year 2030. Last fall, we also brought online a new substation, the Watson substation. It's in Uptown. I hope when you're driving on Boulevard of the Allies, you can look up and see it. It's a really cool design. But it helps to make the downtown network more resilient. So the Golden Triangle is now positioned for future growth, just in time also for the NFL draft. We're also the first electric utility in the state of Pennsylvania to deploy Gridware, which are solar-powered sensors that we install on our distribution poles. We have about 1,700 of them installed at this point, and they provide us with real-time data and detect problems like broken equipment or down lines more quickly. This technology was actually a big part of helping us to get customers back online faster after this week's weather event. So all of this ultimately boils down to the great responsibility that we feel and that we know that we have in serving our customers. So before I wrap up, may I ask anybody, Duquesne Light, I see a table full of Duquesne Lighters in the front, but anybody in the room who's with Duquesne Light? I see Adam in the back, I see Andrea. Yes, fabulous, awesome. These are all great folks who are here wanting to partner, or they want your ideas. Introduce yourself to them over lunch or on a break. We'd love to collaborate with you. And I also, here's another shameless plug, encourage you to attend the affordability panel this afternoon. Our Managing Director of External Affairs and Regulatory Law, Krisha Kubiak, will be on that panel, and you don't want to miss her comments. So it'll be a good one. I hope you can attend it. So thank you again to CMU, to the Scott Institute, to everybody. Hope you enjoy lunch and the rest of what Energy Week has in store. Thanks, everybody.